Hello everyone, welcome to our second video of learning SQL. So last class we talked about some simple stuff, how to install SQL, and now we're going to create our first table. And yeah, last class we said what is SQL and etc. So in here you're going to deal with databases. So first, go ahead and right click and say new database. And in here, let's say we have a company name BBC or CIBC. Think about it this way. So I press OK. Now there's a block of database. Now inside of that database, we have to create an table. So think about it this way, guys. So we have a server here, and then inside of that server is connected to a computer. Inside of that computer, it's connected to a database. Inside of that database, it's connected to a table. And these all connected, which gives your information to the server, which other servers can talk each other. So let's say you go to Brazil and there's a CIBC in Brazil. Now that's how your bank account works. Just a quick explanation. In here, once you're here, go ahead and press new query. And once here, you make sure that it's set up on CIBC or whatever your company name is set up, but make sure it's in here, because sometimes people be typing hours of command but it's set up to like master or something else. So make sure, otherwise it's not going to work. It's going to go inside a master's database. So now we're going to create our first table. So now, before anything, I would like to say that SQL is a super sensitive language, and you need to be no spelling mistakes. Some certain stuff has to be in capital, some certain stuff has to be on capital. So now, but it's a pretty easy language. You're gonna learn it in 2 days maybe. So let's say I want to create a table. So in English, I'm gonna say create table, but in here I have to say put all capital. Now I want to create this table for our customer of our CIBC. So I'm gonna say customer. Now, when you put your company name, it doesn't matter if you have a spelling mistake or not, open the bracket, and in here it's up to you what you want to put. So let's say you give your customers a customer ID and first name, last name, their email, and their age. So in here I'm gonna say customer ID, and in ID, well, in any ID, the ID goes between 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's endless, right? And there's no dot between that. So if there's dot between it, you have to go decimal. But if it's just 0 to endless numbers, this is where int comes. And int stands for integer. And then after, put a comma. And don't worry about if you're getting an error, because we're gonna finish it later. And then here, now you wanna, since you have the customer ID, now you're gonna put the first name. So in here, I'm gonna say our customer's first name. And in English, since first name, it's a word, SQL doesn't care what it is, right? It just needs to understand if it's a word, it's a number, so the data won't get messed up, because it's not going to understand, right? So you have to understand it. So in here, we're going to use this thing called varchar. And in here, most of the people always put 50. It doesn't matter what number you put in here, to be honest. And then after the first name, we want the last name. So in here, I'm going to say last name, and then I'm going to say varchar again. Since last name, it's also English. Now in here, you want to know your customer's email, so you can send them messages or whatever. Oh, and one more thing. If you have this information, then you connect Python to this. Let's say you want to give the news to your customers, and there's thousands of news. You can go to your SQL, you click one button, sends it to news. So SQL is so important to learn. But anyways, email, let's say I'll give it 100. Again, doesn't matter what number you put in. You can put 50, but doesn't matter. There's no but. And then let's say you want to know your customer's age. Let's say if it's their birthday, you want to give them basically a happy birthday. So that's why we use birthday, or sorry, age, if you want to use age. Now in here, again, age goes 0 to infinite numbers. Now typically, yeah, but you know what I mean. So that's why we use int, and we use integer. And then after that, if you want to keep adding stuff, you can go and keep adding stuff, but after that you can go close the bracket and put the sign. Now there we go. So you created your first ever basically table. Now you see command successfully. If you press execute, it says command successfully. Now if you come here, refresh the page, open up your CIBC, go to tables, you see we have a table named customer. And if you go select 1000 rows, but notice there's nothing in here. It's because we haven't filled anything. So let's go and let's say new query. Now, but you could have put this on the same page, but I wanted to explain. So in here, we have to say all capital. We want to insert into it. So now we want to put information in our the table that we made, which was name customer. And what did we have before? So we had customer ID, we had first name, we had last name, we had email and age. So in here, I'm going to say customer ID, first name that we had. Then what did we have before? Before that, we had, then before that, we had last name. So I'm going to say last name. Then what did we have? We had email and age. And once you're done, you're just going to close the bracket. Now, you said you want to insert into it, but you haven't given it still no values. So you're going to say values in here. Now, this is number 1. So in here, you're going to go number 1, which stands for your customer ID. But you can say 1250, whatever you want to put as customer. So, but in here, I'm just going to say customer ID is 1. Now in here, I'm going to say Mohammed Chokari, or the first name. Sorry, the last name is your last name. So in here, this is my last name. Now I have filled out the customer ID, the first name, the last name. Now in here, I have to put my email. I'm gonna say welcome to SQL.gmail.com. Now in here, I have to put my age. Since it's already about to close, I'm just gonna say 19, then this. Now we are finished. And if you're getting an error like me, maybe you misspelled something. Maybe I did. Maybe I did not. Sorry. But yeah, so once you're done, you can just press execute. And right now it says 1 row effective. I don't know why we're getting an error, but now if I come here and say select 1000 rows, now see, it shows our first customer table. It goes number 1 automatically. Number 1 does that. Our customer's ID 1. Our first name is Muhammad. Our last name is Jokari. Gives the email and the age. And you can still enter. So you can go, basically, again, you can go insert into customers. And you can put, actually, instead of me typing this whole thing again over, I'm just going to copy it and paste it. And basically you can change it again. So in here, let's say we have another name. Let's say we have Mike. His last name is Tyson. His email is, let's say, you can have the same email, but his email, let's say, is miketyson@gmail.com, and his age is 45. Now you run it, there we go. Again, it's updated, you run it, it's there. Now to see, so let's close all of this so you won't get messy. You can just press no, it's okay. Now let's open a new query. Let's see all our tables, the proper way to do this. So we're gonna go select the times from our customer. Now if I run this, there we go. So if you had our first person, Mohammed Chakari, this is his, Mike Tyson, this is his email. Now we can do this. We want to know basically where their age is greater than 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say select again from our table, which was customer, But in here I'm going to say var age, and if you notice in Python we learned this, the greater sign, I'm going to say 25 this sign. Now if I run this, it's going to say Mike Tyson is greater than 25. So if I were to say probably 18 in here, it would have shown me both Muhammad and Mike Tyson. Is because Muhammad is greater than 18 and Mike Tyson is greater than 18 as well. They're older than 18. What if I were to say 17? Again, it would have shown both. If I were to say 19, it would have shown both again. Oh, it would have showed actually Mike Tyson is because Muhammad is 19. We're saying greater than 19. So yeah. But you just created basically your own database where you can see the age. Now this is super useful for, let's say, the banks. They have millions of people, and this can do that like that super quick. So this is basically our first video. Go ahead and practice, create a bunch of tables, and to delete the tables, don't be scared to delete it, but just do this. So let's say you messed up on something, you did something wrong, just right click and say delete, but make sure you check this and press OK, and just like that it deletes whatever we did. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next video.